All right, what's up, everyone? Today we're gonna go over copper and how I like to start finding the best opportunities within the copper field. Now we're gonna be taking a look at copper versus miners. It's a really simple chart analysis, and this is actually one of my chart layouts available for purchase in the chart layout package. All right. This is going to be a little bit of kind of some intermarket, but also really just kind of some market breadth and market internals when it relates to copper itself, right? So we've got COPX on the top, which is going to be your copper miners ETF, copper futures in the middle, and then we've got a ratio chart here of the miners versus the futures. So being that miners is the numerator and futures are the denominator, if this chart is going up, it means that the copper miners are outperforming the price of copper futures. Now, investors and traders can use this chart to analyze the relationship between the miners and copper prices by observing divergences or convergences between the ETF and futures. They can gain insights into potential trends and reversals. For instance, if copper futures are rising but the miners are lagging, it may indicate an upcoming catch up by the miners. Conversely, if the miners are outperform futures, it might signal strong market sentiment towards the mining sector. This analysis helps in making informed decisions regarding investments in the mining sector and commodity markets. Now, if you've been in the Discord, Freeport has been one of the stocks that we've been looking at a lot. All right. And there's many different copper mining stocks and copper related stocks. But we can see here that we got the breakout in the ratio chart of miners versus futures. Now, this move here in the futures has been pretty parabolic, but what I really want to highlight to you all is let's just take a look at it, right? Let's say we're looking to trade copper and we're wondering, when is the best times to get in? What should we get in? Well, we see we have a breakout here in the copper miners, or I'm sorry, in copper futures first. But what does it do? It comes into resistance, right? There was resistance here, right? Resistance here, resistance here, resistance, resistance, resistance. So many times this was resistance. We came out, resistance again, resistance again, resistance again, resistance again, and we finally broke out, right? Meanwhile, when you look at the copper miners, right, while the breakout was here in the copper futures and the breakout was here in the copper miners via the COPEX, you can see that as soon as this broke out, it went absolutely parabolic, almost straight up, right? Pretty much just almost a vertical line there. Whereas the futures really consolidated sideways for a little bit before they got their breakout. Now, they both appeared right around the same time. But this is something really interesting, right? So if I'm seeing copper break out here, and we see the copper future still battling this same Fibonacci resistance level here, what am I looking at, right? Well, I'm saying, hey, we're starting to make an inverse head and shoulders here, right? We've got a left shoulder, we've got a head, and we've got a right shoulder now. If we break through our neckline, which is that resistance level, we're going to be looking for a very strong move to the upside, right? And I'm looking at the miners, I'm saying, well, this one hasn't even broken out yet. So if copper futures can break out here, right, then I'm also going to be looking for the copper miners to be breaking out here as well out of their trend, right? And that's something that we ended up seeing. And what are we seeing now in terms of leadership? Well, most recently, we're seeing a breakout in the miners relative to the futures, right? So if you're someone looking to capture potentially the most beta or look for the leader as of currently, while we haven't broken out and made new highs, right? You see copper futures and copper miners, they had previous highs and we've broken out on both of those. While we haven't broken out on the relative strength chart for miners and futures, we are seeing that maybe there is a little bit of a catch-up trade here to be made, right? And if that were going to see, continued strength in copper and continued strength in the copper miners, that potentially miners have the opportunity here to really outperform, right? Look at the breakout here in copper futures again, where it went up and sideways for a long time here versus the breakout in the relative strength of miners versus futures. You see the breakout retest and straight upwards afterwards. So, copper's been really hot lately. This is a chart that's really going to help you in determining, hey, where do I want to be if I'm trading into copper, right? Do I want to be in some of the copper ETFs? Do I want to be in a mining ETF? Or do I want to be in, maybe a leader, right? Maybe in one of the market leaders of a copper miner stock, right? Or maybe, I just want to hold a copper ETF, or maybe I want to hold copper futures. This is the way that you can digest this chart and really use this chart to help give you an edge within a certain sector or specific field, specifically copper and the copper miners. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, I've got many different chart layouts just like this that you guys can go ahead and purchase via the link in the description below. And I've done all of the hard work for you. So a lot of these charts will be preset for you, and then you can come in here and adjust it, change it, draw whatever you want on it as you please. And really start to use some of these things to help give you an edge, right? Now, this is a layout for the copper miners. But you can do this for something like gold. You can do this for something like silver, etc., etc. Now, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.